We're live.
We're live. We're live?
Yeah, we're live.
You did it this time.
Yeah, I did.
It's like surprise sex.
Isn't it always?
Yeah, kind of. Hey, everybody.
You know what you should do? I'm Gizz Lazlo.
I'm just Paul.
Get off your phone.
I'm off my phone. I was telling somebody a thing about the band.
Oh, man. Anyway, 42.
We are 10 weeks shy of a year's worth of content.
Wow.
That's fucking awesome, right?
Yeah,
I mean, don't you guys love us even worse?
Oh, man. How was your week?
Pretty good. Actually, I have been very busy, so it's gone by very quickly. I got the boondog back.
Nice.
I still haven't slept very well. Ever.
Oh,
You know, arthritis.
that could be your problem.
It could be my problem. I think things are almost kind of okay. You know, like no big panic moments. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Doing good. Did some shows over the weekend again, and we played in Lawndale on Friday night, which is near Gardena, and interesting place called the Eagle's Nest Saloon, which I'm hearing is something.
Yep, there was a place where somebody got themselves dead after the World War II stops. Kind of.
So
anyways,
I did not know that until recently, and I was very shocked by it. And it wasn't that type of bar, thankfully.
Yeah.
But there was a big X right in the middle of the stage, and I asked the sound guy, "So is that where the spotlight hits me?" And there's no lights in the damn place. It's a bar, and the fight's going on. So. No one's paying attention to the opening bands, and then we go on right when they're announcing who won.
Oh yeah.
So
well,
as soon as everybody was disappointed, they turned around and watched us. So that was a
there's
plus.
a song lyric like turning to disappointment. Disappointment
turning to disappointment. That's my fucking sex life.
Yeah, I've heard. Oh man!
But we did that on Saturday or
Who'd
Friday.
Who'd you play with on Friday?
I'll never remember the first name, and I actually said that on stage. I'm like, I'm too old. I can't remember you guys' name, and they weren't memorable. Nothing to remember. No, that wasn't the name. I can't remember, to be honest.
That's Junior Juggernaut.
And then us, Junior Juggernaut, and then the last band. Actually, I made fun of them on stage. I was like, oh, good grief, I can't even remember the last band's name, and that was her name. And the singer actually came up to me as we were switching spots, and he goes, "Oh man, coincidentally, our band name is Good Grief." And I was like, "Oh, really?" But they were rock stars. One thing I do not like about a band is have your stuff set up so when your set time comes, you just go on stage. I don't care if you're the headliner.
Right.
And these guys, they walked up, did nothing. You know, the drummer pushed his cart up to the stage and started setting up one thing at a time. Nobody was helping him. So by the time they went on, I was just like, man, dude, it's been like
note to yourself, if you're going to do something with Gizz, drag your fucking feet.
Oh, man, it was annoying. But anyway, it was a good show.
All right.
But nonetheless. But the second night we played it down in San Diego in Spring Valley at the Bancroft Bar, which I'm telling you, it's in the boons. Like
out there?
Yeah.
Okay.
But you pull up, it's like a roadside bar looking type of thing. Which instantly I'm in love. I love.
Did they have like a hotel attached?
No,
there
was one across the street though.
It's okay.
And
we're moving.
So I believe, or maybe that might have been a dream. But
it was just a truck stop.
So, well, it's a great club. Owner Rob. Right when I'm going on stage, I'm putting up my mic stand, and I had this really weird feeling about the guy. Like when we showed up. I was like, "Hey man, how you doing?" He's like, "I'd rather be home sleeping." And I was like, "Wow,
sounds really white to me."
Yeah, he was very white, very white, very big. You know, looked like a skinhead. Looked like he belonged at the Eagle's Nest.
And some leather pants.
But as I'm going on stage, like I'm expecting him to give me some attitude, and he goes, "Hey, someone told me you were in the Bad Town Boys." And I go, "They gave you wrong information. I am in the Bad Town Boys."
There you go.
And he's like, "What?"
Wait, did you tell them?
Huh? And so he instantly gives me this big hug. He's like, "It's been my favorite band since '92." And I was like, "Oh, hey, that's funny because that's when I joined."
Yeah.
But
Somebody let's get him a bigger ego. Is there like an upsize charge for that?
Can it get any bigger?
Yeah,
any bigger.
Yeah.
So
I mean, yeah, it can totally get bigger.
The opening band was called Bug Out. Really cool 3-piece band.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second band was Dying Species, which is another 3-piece, really good band. I mean, that night was just incredible. There were so many people there to see us, and some people, came up to me and told me, "Hey, only reason we came because we heard you on XM on Faction." I was like, "Wow, that's really cool for people to come see us just because we're on the radio." Dude, that's
actually the best thing in the world.
Yeah. So they took a chance and they loved it. They stayed. They bought me beers. What more can I want? What more could I ask?
Well, I'll give them one more little thing.
What?
Well, prison sex.
You were not there.
I wasn't there. I'd have held you down for somebody, though.
Somebody you have. Thanks. But anyway, it was a great weekend. This weekend we're playing Friday night at
Corbin Bowl.
Corbin Bowl.
I will be there. Actually, boom.
And Saturday night we're playing in Ventura at Sensushi, the sewer. And that's the second name for it. Doesn't smell like it. I don't think. It's been a while.
I've been in a sewer. It probably doesn't smell like it.
Let's not bring your ex-wife into this.
Oh my God! You mean hatchet face? So
anyway,
when you're there, you got to go to the Ventiki and get a Mai Tai. I mean, diabetes is not enough.
No.
Yeah, double down on the alcoholism.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So anyway,
what are we doing tonight?
Tonight, we have another great guest. I mean, last week we had the legendary Keith,
the one, the only, the godfather of it all now.
And you'd think like you can't top that. Bullshit.
Well, we're here.
No, but our guest tonight, I was turned on to his band on Instagram randomly. I was just scrolling and I popped, one of those sponsored ads came up and I was, oh, too bad Eugene. Instantly, I knew where it was from. And I was like, that's genius. That's a great name for it. It
really is.
So I turned up the volume and I listened to the song and I was just like, wow, these guys are badass. So I sent a group text to Foreclosure and I go, you got to check out this band. Sent them a link that I found on YouTube. And 2 days later, my guitar player texted me back. He goes, hey, you know that band Too Bad Eugene? And I was like, yeah. He goes, we're playing with them in Oakland in a couple of weeks.
So you got your chapstick out and
I was so excited, dude. It was like, like they're a great band. I love them. And then all of a sudden, like, oh wow, we're good to open for these guys.
Yeah.
So Adam Nigh, he's the bass player, singer for the band, and just as soon as he got there, I think I fanboyed a little bit. Because I was like, dude, these guys are getting worse.
The older you get, the more fanboy you get with stuff.
Well, because if I love a band, I love them. Dude, like if you write great songs, I'm in.
It's true.
I'm in. And if you release an album, which I did do my research and I listened to their records before we saw them play.
Yep.
And I was just like, I don't think this guy's capable of writing a shit song.
I think it's a challenge. Let's give him the studio.
All right. Okay. We got Adam Nigh coming in. I think he's back.
He's back.
I'm back.
Hey!
You're like fishing.
Could you hear me?
I heard every word.
Look at him. He's already drunk.
No,
I heard every word.
He's not Joey Ramirez.
Good to see you, brother.
Good to see you. What a lovely set of things to say. Thank you. That was a great setup.
And he's like nice sometimes to everybody but me.
Piece of shit. This guy's an angel. Literally, this guy's an angel.
Oh,
come on.
Nah.
I got to deal with the devil over here.
I am the son of the devil.
You're Adam Sandler?
Yeah.
Little Nicky?
I'm Big Nicky.
Oh, man.
Little Dicky.
Forgot about that movie.
So we're already going off the rails.
I know. How you doing, bud? How's it going up there?
It's okay. I've had a cold for about a week, but otherwise I'm doing all right.
I had the swells picking up. You gonna get out there and do a little surfing?
I've got a bit more of a football body than a surfing body. Not so good at that.
I was going to say bowling.
Yeah. At this point in life, yes, more bowling body or even video game body than any of that.
I think I'm a lawn bowling body, like maybe curling.
Curling.
No, the ice thing with the stone.
Oh,
yeah, it's a whole lot.
You're not Mexican.
No, I am.
By injection.
Why does he have a rake? He's a smart Mexican.
By injection. My goodness.
Yeah, we kind of go straight for the yeah, the
juggalos.
We go straight for the juggalo.
All right, so let's get into it. You give us a history, like Santa Cruz, punk rock. What got you into it, man? Like,
good question. My brother is a surfer. He's 7 years older than me. So when I'm like 9 years old and he's 16, he gets his driver's license and my mom has him start driving me around. And it's all in his truck. It's 7 seconds, circle jerks, Minor Threat, Descendants. So I'm hearing that stuff at 9 years old. And it's kind of soaking into my blood.
God, you got brought up right, man. That's awesome. But right by the beach.
Well, and our dad is raising us on the Beach Boys and the Beatles and the Rolling Stones and
Beach Boys. That's it right there.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like your dad already.
So yeah, it was a lot of music. And then when I'm in high school, our local punk scene was pretty active. This is Good Riddance, like just before they signed to Fat Records, and then really start taking off. But when them and we had a band in Santa Cruz called Fury 66. That those two bands kind of, I would say, led the scene here in Santa Cruz in the early 90s, and it was electric. In high school, it was, it felt like one of those two bands was playing somewhere every weekend, and we all went. So, and then started playing in my own bands in high school, and then I was like a year out of high school when I joined Craig's brother. So that's kind of the beginning of it.
What was the backyard scene like in Santa Cruz back then?
My high school band played a few house shows and backyard, shows, and yeah, it was definitely hardcore. There was not a lot of pop punk in this town, and as a guy who was, I loved the hardcore stuff, but when my brother would put on Descendants, I'd be particularly like, "Ooh, I really like this." I was kind of into the more melodic stuff from the beginning. And 7 Seconds too. Like 7 Seconds could never be called a pop punk band, but they had some hooks, and I always kind of wanted to hear those songs that had the more melodic hooks in them. Yeah.
I mean, Good Riddance kind of fell into later on after Operation Phoenix, which is a great album. They kind of went a little bit more melodic and poppy with some of their stuff. But I mean, I love that band. I absolutely adore that band.
Those are the fat years.
Yeah.
You guys definitely have that Lagwagon with Milo singing.
That we were actually having that conversation in the office just a little while ago. It's like, he goes, "Who do you hear?" I'm like, Milo or Bill Stevenson. That's kind of where I'm like, that's that.
A little bit of Greg Graffin with the harmonies. That's
harmonies are sexy.
That's what sold me on you guys, because I'm a big fan of harmonies. That's, obviously you heard the record. That's all me.
68 vocal track Gizz.
Yeah.
Sounds just like that in real life.
Our engineer, producer, Wall, our drummer, he mixed the record. And when I would send him, because I did all the initial lead vocal in the studio, took the tracks back to my house, and then I did all my vocals in my studio. So I had, copious amount of time to just concentrate on vocals. And there would be anywhere between 26 to 48 vocal tracks per song.
Oh, no way.
What is up with the Gizz choir army here?
Yeah, I'm like, if there was actually 40 of you, I would shoot myself. No, I'm not dealing with this shit.
You shoot yourself at 2.
Yeah, no, I wait till 4.
AM.
Yeah.
Drinks.
Gizz is actually it's kind of like a unit of Danzig now.
But I'm a true fan of harmonies, and I'll try to do 4-part harmonies on stuff, and oohs and ahs and backing vocals and double.
And you
triple.
separate everything, right? So you can actually take it apart.
Oh, dude, I label everything. I'm very professional when it comes to vocals. I do it for a lot of band, dumbass. So,
well, I'll say,
but that was like really quick. The song that got me was "Shake Your Fist,"
dude.
That
God
song.
Damn it.
That was the song that I heard it one time, and I was like, I'm a fan of this band.
Yeah.
So then I go to YouTube and listen to every song, which, like, dude, like, I have to ask. There's Mercy and Rachel and Sam. Nigh.
Yeah.
Who are they?
So Sam's my dad.
Wow.
And that song that I did with him on the record is a cover of his college band. It was recorded in 1967. That song is called "Nothing Remains." If you look on YouTube for "Nothing Remains" from his band was called Uranus and the Five Moons. They were a band at Wesleyan College.
Right now.
Almost spit all over.
Your dad sounds awesome as fuck, dude.
He's a Beach Boy fan, and he's got
Uranus and the Five Moons.
Uranus and the Five Moons. Oh man, that's my
frozen.
stomach tattoo.
We froze. I didn't freeze. There you go. We're good. Oh my god, that is fantastic.
Am I back?
You're back. Yeah.
Okay.
So your dad did the song with you. It was his song.
Yeah. He sings. If you look up the original, Uranus and the Five Moons, Nothing Remains. You hear, it's very Jefferson Airplane. It's kind of psychedelic, late '60s stuff. They were wherever Wesleyan is. I think New Haven, Connecticut.
Oh wow.
And so yeah, I had the idea. I'm like, we should do like a kind of Foo Fighters-y cover of that song. And I asked him if he would sing with it, and he was gangbusters. He was very excited to do it. So yeah, we go back and forth. Super fun.
Oh, dude, that's awesome. So badass.
Yeah, I'm jealous. I lost my dad last year, and like, ugh.
I lost mine this year, so
yeah, dude, it sucks.
I lost my father-in-law last year, and then Sam, our guitar player, lost his dad last year, and it was both of those were kind of the album was recorded but not released yet. So yeah, we wrote dedications to both those guys for Battle Scars, dedicated to them. My dad's still around. Just turned 80 last summer.
Well, don't lose him. But if you do, he's probably at Disneyland. He's confused about how to get off of Pirates of the Caribbean. I was going to make some other weird joke. And I'm like, nah, it's just dark.
That was good. All right. Just still down.
We did a local record release show in March at the Crate Place in Santa Cruz, which is owned and run by Chuck Platt, bass player of Good Riddance. And my dad got up on stage and sang that song with us. And it was
awesome, dude.
Is that on video?
Said, and I think I would say to him, and I wouldn't feel embarrassed to say it, that everybody said he kind of looked like an old man walking through the crowd getting on stage. But when the song started, he didn't look old at all. It was awesome. Like he was right back in it, rocking out. Yeah.
Is that on video?
I don't have it on video. I hope
Chuck, he's probably got it.
You reminded me. I need to find someone who has that. It was pretty rad.
I gotta see that.
I would love to see that. Like I would pay a nickel.
That's the video for the song.
Yeah, right?
Should be, yeah. But then so Rachel is my wife. And she is sang a song with me on both our last two records. And then we are working on our next one already, and I've got one that we will sing together on the next one.
Nice.
And then Mercy's my daughter. And so, yeah, she's featured on a song. And then my son, Calvin, was our drummer, and he played drums on that record. He's moved on since.
Okay, well, apparently
Partridge Family
we live in the wrong fucking place. This is the most wholesome thing I've ever fucking. Are you not Mormon?
No.
Come on.
We're just very musical.
In Santa Cruz, where it's perfect.
Yeah.
How's the Ferris wheel?
It's still there.
Yeah. There's actually a lot of really good music that's come out of Santa Cruz. Del Mix 3, some of the college bands that have come out of there are really good.
Devil Mix 3, yeah. We got oh no, the name just jumped out of the Expendables, the kind of reggae band.
I did notice. I was listening through some of your stuff today. There was a little bit of a ska influence in there somewhere.
Well, why do you got to ruin shit?
He hates it.
I
thought it was great, man. I thought it was a really great little twist. Like it's like, oh yeah, there we go.
It's that little bit of no effects influence. If you'd say that, all right, I'm okay with it. Maybe.
Op Ivy.
Ugh.
What? Do you see?
Hot
I hate ska. I was
God for life.
I was in a. We'll tell that story next. But I was in a band back in the 90s, and we were together a very long time. One of our shirts was, the band's name was Dead Lazlo's Place, and our shirt was DLP, Dare to Keep Kids Off Ska. So the DLP was the dare, and it was our best selling shirt. Like
Nice.
I've told the story before, and with our guest Tim Jameson from Ultraman, when he came out to see us in St. Louis on when we were on tour, he walked up to the merch booth and he goes, DLP, Dare to Keep Kids Off Ska, I'll take 2. And I was like, really? Why? And he goes, because I'm gonna wear one out. I was like, I love this guy. Who are you? I'm Tim Jameson. And I knew exactly who he was when he said his name, and been dear friends ever since. But so the second story, I played drums for another band called LA Slumlords, and we played punk rock bowling this year. And we do our sound check, and as soon as we're done doing sound check, I grab my other cut that I have, and I put it on, and it was something shiny that like hit me, and I was just like, what is that? I sew all my patches on. I don't put safety pins on my jacket. And I look down and I see 2 safety pins and a patch. So I take off my cut and I look at it. It's a patch that says "SCOD for life."
I've been waiting for 3 months to put that on his fucking vest. I had that joke on until we got there and he wasn't paying attention.
So pissed. I was livid.
How long had it been on you?
I wanted to kill him, and he was nowhere to be found.
I was out in the crowd.
How long before you found it?
It took 2 days.
No.
2 days.
No, it was 2 fucking days.
Oh, you put it on 2 days before?
Yeah.
I thought you did it when I was on stage.
No, I did it at Eric's house when you weren't looking. I literally had that thing in my pocket for like 3 months, like waiting for you to put your cut down.
I love that you're finding this out now.
And he's still on the cut.
Yeah, I won't take it off now. And I'm not going to sew it on.
Careful what you wish for. I had lidocaine. I'll sew it on your back.
I'm surprised you didn't Gorilla Glue it.
Well,
I know a guy.
Thanks for the suggestion.
There was a guy who he put a patch on his jacket and he Gorilla Glued it. And I was like,
"That's a phone."
Like I was like, "Ooh, dude, I want that patch." And I was like, "How did you sew that on?" He goes, "No, it's super glue." Dude, it's bulletproof. Oh. So anyway, let's get back to you.
Yeah, you're the guest, not this asshole.
Like I said, our show is just about telling stories. So, okay, your first show. When did you play your first show?
Oh gosh,
which band was it?
Yeah, you never told us your high school band.
My high school band was originally called Yellow Snow. As high school bands will do.
I feel like I want to buy you a snow cone machine and just send it to you. And just have yellow snow all year round.
And we had a cassette tape that our drummer drew the cover with Sharpie, where it's just a kid sitting in snow eating a ball of snow that we would, on every single one, we would have to take a yellow highlighter and fill in the snowball with yellow.
Good
Yeah, and then we changed our name to the Defects with a K, so it looked real punk rock. Yeah, and we were aiming at a hybrid between like 7 Seconds and the Misfits, which is a weird hybrid. All the positivity of the one and all the demonic stuff of the other, trying to just bring those together. So we played shows when I was like a sophomore in high school. And
what is that?
What?
What's a sophomore? I didn't go to
somebody didn't go to high school. It wasn't me.
What grade is sophomore?
10th grade.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the one after 9.
I quit school in junior high school to be a musician.
Okay. So I'm like 15 years old when we're playing our first shows. And I couldn't even tell you which one would have been first.
There's backyard stuff, or were you like actually hitting like venues?
We did eventually play some local venues. We played a venue that was called the Red Room, which still exists in Santa Cruz, but now it's just like a taco bar. We played Live Soup back then. Trying to remember anywhere else that band played locally. I know we got up to Sacramento. I can't remember where that was, but house shows. Did some of that. We were church youth group kids, and we did some of that type stuff too. We'd play our youth group. Yeah.
Mercy Me songs?
No, we just played our own stuff, which was obnoxious. Nobody at youth group liked it. They didn't know what we were doing. They had never heard the Misfits. And we were playing like Misfits covers in our set at youth group. It was pretty funny.
Oh, how did that go over?
Again, no one really had
I die, my darling.
No, we did Who Killed Marilyn.
Oh God. I ain't no goddamn bitch.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure that's probably not one that was in the repertoire.
Well. So yeah, first shows were usually just to friends and little things like that. This is my dog.
And then that led to Craig's brother.
Yeah, so that band, the Defects, when we were the Defects, we played a show with Craig's brother. And then like year and a half later, they gave me a call and said they were looking for a guitar player. And I jumped at the chance. Yeah.
Now, what set you into guitar?
My dad. There was our house was a house of music. There was guitars and keyboards and a drum set, and he was always in a band. I grew up going to see his bands play live. It was all like his bands were cover bands that would do 60s rock and roll. So it would be weddings and parties and that kind of thing, but they would some kind of like Chamber of Commerce type events in around Santa Cruz, and those would be big. I mean, they'd be playing for hundreds, maybe 1,000 people, and people would be dancing like crazy. They were they knew how to throw a party. It was fun.
Did you have a random trombone in a closet anywhere in your house?
No, we did have a
friend. No trumpets, bugles, any horns?
Isn't that your nickname, no. Rusty Trombone?
No, that's not it.
By your hair, I would say different.
Rocket does not agree with you.
What do you think, Rocket?
Yes, dick.
Okay.
I always know what dogs are thinking. So explain the name behind Craig's brother. What is that? That is, I think it's actually one of the most phenomenal names I've ever heard. Like,
really?
Craig's brother. Craig who? Like,
he was the hot guy.
I did not like it when I was in the band. I was always kind of angling for a name change, but they had already, established themselves too well. The name comes from the bass player, whose name was Scott, who, like, when he was in high school, he was like a kind of a quiet theater kid, but his older brother was like football guy that everybody knew. So nobody knew who Scott was, and so you're trying to explain to somebody who he was. Oh, Craig's brother. That's what he kind of felt his identity was he wasn't his own person. He was Craig's brother, and so they thought that was funny.
Yeah. I mean, I'm Gizz's Paul's friend. I love that. It's actually a really cool name. It's kind of telling. Like, I don't know. We're all. I mean, I grew up kind of an outcast, anyways, because of the punk rock shit. So I think.
But the true genius is Too Bad Eugene.
Yeah, now you got to explain that one.
Dude, as soon as I read the name, I was just like, Too Bad Eugene. Like,
it's fun when we run into people who actually get the reference, but it is kind of an indirect reference because the Defects, we had a tape back in high school and back in the mid 90s, especially in Santa Cruz. Every band filled your demo tapes with movie clips,
samples,
and so ours began with the Now for the Rules scene from Grease, and it played. Well, it played that scene, and it played a couple clips at different points in the tape from that scene, and one of them it was the all couples must be boy girl. Too bad, Eugene. And we thought that was funny. So then when I started this band after leaving Craig's brother, and was like asking friends for ideas for a band name, one of them, Eric Gentry, who's the singer of a band called the Adorkables, if you ever heard of them, kind of a Ramones core band, he suggested Too Bad Eugene, and we thought that was perfect when we heard it. So like,
it is
absolute genius. It's great.
I mean, that's what attracted me to the band, because immediately when I read the name, as soon as I saw the band name, I was just like, okay, I got to hear this. That's genius right there. Yeah. And then that Shake Your Fist song came on, and I was just like, oh, I didn't even. I stopped listening on Instagram, and I went straight to YouTube, and I saw the video, and that's like
our $0 budget video.
I don't know if you know this, but when I met you in Oakland at the Golden Bull, as soon as I saw you walk up into the bar, I was like, dude, that's Adam. Like,
did you ask him to sign your butt or anything?
No, but as soon as you came back out to get the rest of your band and everything, and I introduced myself to you, and I was just like, dude, I told you the story, and I was just like, dude, I'm talking to this guy, and I was like, immediately before I forget, I got to get a picture before I get drunk. I got to get a picture, man. And like that's one of my favorite photos because instantly I fell in love with your music, man. Like, that happens once a year to me. Like where I listen to a band and their song touches me in a way where it's like I'm all in. I'm all in. Till the ska song now.
Dude, I was like second listen through. I don't remember what song it was. Like second listen through, I'm like, I was already singing with the chorus. I'm like, fuck. Anytime you find yourself singing through a chorus, the second listen to a band, they're that kind of good, or they're good for you.
Yes.
Junior Juggernaut was the same way. Like I was just like, I'm just singing along now.
But I was thrilled. I mean, like when Mark, our guitar player, told me, hey, that band you just mentioned 2 days ago, we have a show with them. It was just like, oh, dude, no way.
He got tingles in his funny place.
No, that was super fun. And I so enjoyed that conversation. And honestly, like guys who've been doing this for a long time, and the state I feel like punk rock music is in right now, where there's good stuff being made, but to find it, you have to wade through quite a bit. And I feel like that can get you, I don't know. When I come across people at shows that just seem kind of burnt out, and I can tell haven't listened to our music, probably aren't going to watch our set, I honestly don't judge them. I'm like, I get it. It's kind of hard to keep any of that energy where you're even like available to love a band. So hanging out with you that night was so rad because I'm like, yeah, this is how I want to be. where you're like, ready to fall in love with a new band, because it's easy to lose that ability and just get jaded. And
I am truly blessed to be in bands where I have to, dude, I'm in 9 bands right now. I need to do music because I want to be out there. I want to play with new bands. I want to see new artists. And when you come across a band and actually get to share the stage with them, dude, it's phenomenal feeling that, like, that's why I never say no to being in a band, because I want to experience new music.
No,
like with Foreclosure, every show that we've played, and the other day our drummer Wall, he actually sent us a list. Our last show was our 20th show as a band, and we've gotten to travel. We've gotten this far in a little bit over a year, and all the bands that we played with, like, dude, every week or every time we play, I get introduced to a new band. But the difference is, with every band that we play with, I'm seeing them for the first time. I'm listening to them live. Now I got to go research them. You guys are the only band that in Foreclosure that I got to hear before and caught me where I was just like, I'm excited about this show. And there wasn't too many people there that night. No. And like the reaction from people that I knew that were there that night, and some of the guys in the band, like, oh, dude, there weren't too many people. I don't give a fuck.
No.
like to me, what solidified my place as a musician was in 1979 when Kiss got interviewed on this Halloween show, and Peter Criss, they were asking him about Peter Criss from Kiss, like, when you play a show, do you still get excited? And he goes, yeah, I go back to our first show and we were about to go on stage and there was probably 10 people there to see us, but we all looked at each other. Tonight we're playing the Garden, Madison Square Garden. I still live my life by that. I don't care what stage I'm on. It's the Forum.
Yeah.
And I, that night, how you doing, Oakland? Like, I opened up. Like, dude,
You're supposed to say Detroit everywhere except for Detroit.
Well, like I said earlier, San Diego is, I think, Foreclosure's Detroit.
All right, fair enough.
It's Diego Rock City. I called it that night.
Diego Rock City,
Dago
Rock City, or we're getting this kid like the Italians now.
But again, watching you guys on stage, like, I've heard your songs, the way they're recorded. I see you guys live, and I was impressed. I loved every single song. I was just like, recognized a few songs, and dude, I was rocking out, and I was so excited and proud and blessed again to share the stage with you, man. Like,
thank you, man.
It's been a while that I felt like that, And
thanks.
I'm looking at you going, you got no talent.
Let's go back to Too Bad Eugene and leave you out of this.
Your talent is, how do you open a fucking whiskey bottle?
With my teeth.
With his tongue.
So what year did Too Bad Eugene kind of really get, like, its inception, and like kind of where did you guys go from there? Because like I said, there's been very few bands that are like just kind of instantly really. I mean, you've made $170 million now off of the album sales.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, your first album, At Any Rate, that was on Mike Herrera's label.
Yeah,
from MXPX. Rock City Records.
Yep. Yeah, we sort of
how'd that get
burnt that label down. So yeah, we. Okay, I mean,
I got matches if you need extra.
We are the only band that did anything on that label other than MXPX and their side project Arthur, which was that was an MXPX side project. So yeah, we were kind of. I feel bad for all the other bands that never got a chance to be on that label because it didn't really go anywhere after us. But yeah, that happened from. So like. Craig's brother, our first, the album I played on came out the summer of 1998. we toured that whole summer, and by the end of the summer, I was burnt on Craig's Brother. I wanted to start my own band. So we did. But my last show with Craig's Brother was with MXPX. And
Mike's a cool guy.
Oh, yeah. He's killer. So we recorded a 4-song Too Bad Eugene demo that fall in like November, I think, of 1998. And I sent it to like just a handful of labels. But Rock City was one of them. And yeah, Mike called me like, I want to say within a few days after I sent it. And he was interested. And I mean, it went really fast. And then we were up recording a record with him the following summer.
Wow.
So yeah, we had to kind of, we had 4 songs in November, and we needed an album's worth by like June. So
wow.
we spent the next 6 months writing an album, and I would send him demos that we would record in the band room just from a,
Ghetto Luster.
Not even on a 4-track, just like a boombox in the band room, just hit record. It sounded awful. But he was gracious. And so yeah, he had built a recording studio at like his parents' house. And it was a killer studio, and we recorded that album up there. Mike Herrera produced it. He had hired an engineer, Sean O'Dwyer, who had just worked on MXPX, had just finished the Ever Passing Moment. And I got to go into Conway Studios down in Burbank, where they were making the record, and I got to do backup vocals on it and meet Dave Grohl and Taylor Hawkins, who were at that studio mixing There's Nothing Left to Lose while MXPX was there recording the Ever Passing Moment. So anyway, I had to go down there for a couple days. That was an all-timer of a memory. But anyway, yeah, Sean had engineered that record. They hired him to engineer our record. Yeah, we recorded it in a few weeks and just stayed. We stayed on his parents' couch while we recorded it. It was pretty great. And then we went on tour with them that fall. It was us, No Motive, 22 Jacks, and MXPX.
Oh wow!
I remember doing tour. That's been a long time. Wow. Yeah. So what was it like your first time like in studio, like in a proper studio with an engineer? Like how did that can be really stressful for a band if they've never haven't done it together before. How did you feel about that?
Well, I mean so Too Bad Eugene's first record was because the guitar player, the original guitar player, was he and I had been together in Craig's Brother. So we had done this once before on Craig's Brother's first record, which was at Westgate in Hollywood, where Bad Religion, West Beach. Thank you. Sorry. Not
West Beach. He said Gate. You asked. I'm just.
Sorry.
As soon
as you said Westgate, I was like, wait a minute. In Hollywood. No. I think you might.
I'm sorry. There's a Westgate Mall in San Jose. I'm confused. So yeah, no, West Beach. And that was intimidating because, I mean, we had a list of the records we loved that had been made there.
Right. Produced by Brett Gurwitz.
Yes. Donald Cameron was the one who engineered. I
worked with him too.
You worked with Donald?
Yeah.
Oh, that's rad.
You worked him over or you worked with him?
So we had some experience in the studio and with both records, knowing what we were doing, we worked hard. We were rehearsing 4 days a week for like probably 6 weeks, getting ready to record. So we went in ready to go.
This is one of my favorite questions. I did it one time. Have you ever just done like a full-on live track take, boom, done, and walk away?
No, I've never done that. I would love to. And we talk about doing that kind of thing as a band. And it's like, I feel like that's for the bands who get to be on the road like all year. And you're just playing together all the time and you're dialed in. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's a Husker Du trick.
I mean,
I actually
crumbling something up over here.
I folded my hands and I felt something in my pocket and I pulled it out, and it's a receipt for when I had pizza in New York.
You see what I have to deal with?
seamless transition.
This shit lives rent free in my head. So you guys are ready to go to the studio for album number 4?
This will be album number 5.
Or 5.
We're not quite ready to go in the studio.
I want to touch on the song that you guys released. The song you guys released 3 weeks ago. Unacceptable.
That's the song.
Like
I was literally singing along to that chorus on the first listen through Spotify.
Like that's your newest single, and
it's fucking
your video. Wow.
I just saw this. Oh man, it was amazing.
The video is something we don't talk about. And that's.
Do you feel touched?
No, it was. I thought it was very brave. You know, like.
Thank you. We took a little bit of. What's funny is, my parents are like Republicans, and I've got other people kind of on the right in my life. I was ready for heat from that side. Got definitely more heat from the other side.
Really?
Which I totally understand. I mean, people were like, hey, yeah, we get it. This is an unideal situation, but we've got an actual fascist running for the White House. Let's not pretend these two are equal. And my take back was, I'm not saying they're equally unacceptable. I'm not saying that. I'm saying this two-party system is what drives people to the fringes, so that a guy like that, it seems like a fix to whatever problem.
Yeah, I do. It's beautifully done. I really felt like it was that statement of well, what if we don't have to fucking pick one? What if there's a better thing? And that's kind of really where that anti-authoritarian punk rock thing comes from in the first place. It's what if I don't have to? What if there's a better fucking idea, which is just everybody shut up. It's a great song.
I'll tell you, I listen to Jon Stewart's Weekly Show podcast pretty regularly. I think Jon Stewart's a sharp guy. I really enjoy him.
Yeah, I enjoy him.
And he did a podcast back in June where he had some political theorists on, and they were talking about that exact topic and just talking about different governmental models around the world that avoid a two-party system. Looking at countries that have 4 or 5, dominant parties, and how you just avoid a binary polarizing sort of situation like we have here. And that seemed to me to make a lot of sense.
It does, but the parliamentary systems like that have too many parties, that also it dilutes the vote. There's a lot of theory behind it. There's a lot of stuff goes into it. I do wish we did not have to choose between one or the other. I would vote for you for president right now. You're way positive. You play 11 in chance. You got 9 wives. wait, that's a different friend of mine.
I've had one wife for 26 years, but thank you.
How's that going?
She's awesome. I mean, she said how positive
she's all in. She's like, I'm singing on the next record. I get royalties. I'm good.
She made $170 million also.
As long as she accepts Monopoly money, yeah, she's very happy.
I like your style. He's like, if you want some of my money, you got to be in the band. You record a song, you make your own royalties. I'm paying for shit.
So I was gonna say, what was the biggest, favoriteest, most amazingly specialist show for Too Bad Eugene that you played at? You're like, I'm never gonna forget this moment. I was just on stage and I felt like I was Jimi Hendrix, or you know what I mean? That wholeness where you're like, I don't want to ever do anything different.
Gosh,
Golden Bull,
huh?
Golden
Bull for 10 people. That's pretty fun. The first one we played with MXPX on that tour was in Vancouver, Canada, and I swear there were 1,000 people there. And prior to that, we were just playing pretty dang small shows.
A lot of people.
And all of a sudden, to be on that tour and to see that many people, and I hadn't lost my voice yet. Like once we were like 3 nights into that tour, I never got my voice back. I was hoarse like every night. Oh yeah, I lose my voice so badly, so often. That's
why I drink.
You should be a plumber.
Okay. So that's definitely one of them. I mean, that whole tour was awesome. Not all of them were quite as big as that, but certainly that was the first one. Like, holy crap, this is amazing. The following year, we got to do, again, through the generosity and backing of MXPX, we got to do 3, the California days of the Warp Tour.
Oh, wow.
And I want to say it was the last one. I think Weezer was playing like the main stage, and we were playing one of those small side stages, but the set times stagger, and we were playing to probably like 150 people while Weezer was playing, and then their set ended while we still had about 10 minutes. In those last 10 minutes, our crowd just ballooned. It was amazing.
15,000 people all of a sudden.
I mean, there was probably 1,000 people for like the last, like, I don't know, 6 minutes or something, like, the last couple of songs.
The best part of the set.
Yeah. Yeah. It was, hopefully we saved our best stuff for our closers. That was 1999. I don't quite remember what the songs were.
I knew it was 1999. I knew it
25 years ago.
Because
you were still drunk.
No, I was the drummer for the UK Subs that summer on the Social Chaos tour, and right after I got home, the Warp Tour started, and I had a VIP pass to the '99 Warp Tour, and as I was walking around TSOL, I met up with them, and fucking Ron Emery comes up to me and goes, "Hey Gizz, can you play drums for TSOL tonight?" And I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, Danny hasn't showed up yet, and I don't think he's going to show up in time.
No.
So can you at least like do the Dance With Me record?" And I'm like, I got to listen to it. So I went to their tour bus, sat in their tour bus for 10 minutes, listened to that album, and I'm writing my notes, and I'm going,
oh my God.
I can't do this. I can't do this. And right when I was just about to give up hope, Danny walks into the door. I'm like, oh, thank God. Oh, thank God.
And then when the answer wore off.
Oh, man.
If you could pick any band, living or dead, to be on stage to play guitar and sing with, who would it be?
Oh, gosh. I mean, it would be the Descendants, as long as Stefan doesn't put his guitar down. As long as I get to be like second guitar.
Wise man. Wise man.
How
that man can be a single guitar player and sound like 3 different guitar players.
Well, we were talking earlier about your vocal style, and we were going back and forth, and it's like, honestly, there's a lot of Bill Stevenson and Milo in there, and a little bit of Greg Graffin. Like, it kind of
lead vocal, definitely Milo Stevenson, and then
Milo Stevenson,
and then backing vocal, definitely Greg McCartney Lennon.
Yeah. I really do like. How do you kind of like tumble your way through your harmonies, because it's a really amazing sound.
Thank you. I mean, again, being brought up on the Beach Boys definitely helped, and then I mean, when I think I was a freshman in high school when my brother had my introduction to Bad Religion was Recipe for Hate.
Oh,
and wow. Of course, I went backwards from there. But I actually really love that record. I know it doesn't get a lot of love from,
I love that record. My first introduction was No Control, but I thought Recipe for Hate was really good.
I love the reactions we're getting. But the song,
I'm way older than you guys.
You're 3 years older than me.
Yeah.
That's just cute.
Well, Man with a Mission on that record.
Yeah.
Which, you know, I when I think of Bad Religion, I tend to think of like the big, like 3-part harmony, kind of ahs and oohs in the background. But that song has a parallel harmony throughout on the lead vocal, and with pedal steel guitar going on in the back. And
I mean,
the idea that you could draw from country. I mean, and once your ears are open to it, they're doing it everywhere. You hear like, you know, Delirium of Disorder on Suffer, like that's. So that basically is like Ghost Riders in the Sky.
Anesthesia.
And that song.
Anesthesia.
That ending chorus. That ending chorus with the oohs and ahs.
Yeah.
And that's what I loved about Bad Religion is the oohs and ahs.
Yep.
Well,
that was an instrument.
You know, Generator, Atomic Garden was fucking genius. Like, and it's
but
fun.
Suffer, that whole album. Like that when they reintroduced themselves as an actual fucking band. Like we're no longer kids.
It's not how it can be any worse. We've moved up here, and it is a delight to look at, and it's really fun to see how that affected music in our timeline. Like we've been having these conversations about like kind of where punk rock lives right now, and like has it hit its pinnacle? Keith Morris agrees. Nope, not yet. We're not fucking finished. We're the new rock and roll. This is what has happened now. Is we're just kind of taking over. Like the Stones had their time, the Beatles had their time, the Meteors had their time, the Mummies had their time.
But what's great about punk rock is we are taking from that and adding it to the punk rock repertoire.
And that was what Keith, you know, Keith was like, well, I wasn't listening to punk rock because it didn't exist first.
Yeah.
Like, he was listening to fucking
Blue Oyster Cult, Black Sabbath, UFO,
the Four Tops. Like, Motown. Like, Motown has informed more music, I think, than any other genre.
And when I hear, going to your question you were asking before, it's kind of like influence in my voice. I honestly hear kind of a lot of that. You know, to me, because along with, you know, growing up in the house with my dad being in a band, I've been playing weddings and parties and stuff with him for like 30 years. And so, a lot of Benny King and Solomon Burke and, you know, some of these kind of old soul singers. I've been singing their songs live for decades. And I kind of feel it in, you know, the way I sing punk rock a little bit.
I hear it. I mean, I really do. Like I was asking Keith about Garland Jeffries and like Wild in the Streets. Like the fact that that's a cover is amazing, and what he did with it, and to hear that, like, it's like I love Otis Redding. He's one of my favorite artists of all fucking time.
Yes,
Otis Redding, and then I bounced into like some like really like early stage kind of like ska and reggae stuff. Jimmy Cliff, Peter Tosh, you know, way before. Yeah, shut the fuck up. Miss Jamaica by Jimmy Cliff is one of the greatest songs of all time. You dick.
Yes, you guys like Bob Marley?
I'm gonna hold him down and shave his head.
I love the No Effects'
Kill All the White Man.
No Use for Names cover of Redemption song.
Oh yeah,
really?
Like
I mean, I love No Use for a Name.
But what is his name?
I got the tour with Tony Sly. So
have you ever heard Steve Earle do a Redemption song? Oh, take a minute and look up Redemption song with Steve Earle. It is sick. I mean, and like the Maytals, that was a very early on reggae. Like it was actually back then. It was dancehall and blue beat. You know,
this guy.
I would understand
since I met him, he's been trying to get me in this guy. Like he goes back to where ska began. He's like, okay, now if you listen to this, then you might get that. And it's like, I don't want to.
he's willfully ignorant. It's amazing.
It's the upstroke. Think.
I'm
with
you,
motherfucker.
I like ska. I couldn't play it, but I like it. Craig's brother just played with 5 Iron Frenzy in August, and that was so much fun. Those guys, they played for 90 minutes and just nonstop, and it was fantastic.
They were high as fuck. That would kill single me. Thing.
No, it was really fun. I thought they were fantastic.
So what's coming up next for you, fucking Eugene? What are you guys doing up?
So the next record is written, but we are just getting started on like rehearsing the stuff and doing pre-production. And so, yeah, we'll be spending the first part of next year getting ready to record. I'm hoping we're recording by like March is my hope.
How did you get hooked up with People of Punk Rock?
So after a long hiatus where I wasn't doing music for a really long time, I came back to it after the shutdown, the lockdown, COVID. And when I came, when I decided, we had to get Too Bad Eugene going again, I knew that I didn't know what I was doing, that the music industry I had once known was gone.
Mm-hmm.
So I reached out to my friends in Craig's Brother, which I was not in at the time, but they were doing stuff, and was just basically pestering them for advice and what they were doing. And one thing they were doing was they had been booked for Red Bridge Fest. I think that was originally going to have been 2022. So I was talking to them in 2021. They had been booked to play 2022. They ended up not playing because Ted, their singer, was got COVID. So they just did it last year, and I got to go. I got to play guitar with them when they play Red Bridge last summer up in Quebec, Pont Rouge, Quebec. So that they were doing that, and I was asking them, like, how'd you guys get hooked up with that? And they were talking about the guys they knew that helped run it, who also run People of Punk Rock Records. And so I just Steven Neufeld, who does like everything in Craig's Brother. He plays drums live, but he plays guitar on their records. He does everything. He'd give me contact information, and I just start emailing people. I'm like, hey, I got this new band, Too Bad Eugene. I originally reached out because I was seeing if we could get up at Red Bridge, and no, that was 2021, right? And they didn't do it that year because of COVID. So yeah, they wrote back and said, no, we're not doing that. But hey, we got this record label, and they were the ones that asked if we owned the rights to our older records. And because we do, Mike Herrera had very graciously, when he was done with Rock City Records, for no money, just gave us the master tapes and all of the ownership over our first record. And so we were able to work with People in Punk Rock to re-release that. And then once we decided we were going to make new records, which was right away, we were already working with those guys. And so we just kept going.
Now, you guys going to press vinyl, or are you just going to put it out on cassette?
No, we'll definitely be doing vinyl.
All right.
Yeah. CD.
And where would I buy that vinyl? If I wanted to buy the vinyl, where would I buy it?
peopleofpunkrockrecords.com. They've got all our stuff.
Awesome. What are you guys playing next?
We don't have any announced shows at the moment. We have a couple of things we're working on potentially, but we're kind of trying to keep the slate clear so we can focus on getting this record, getting through pre-production on that and getting it recorded. I'm very excited about it. It definitely goes a few steps further down the skate punk road. Things are a little faster. There's a little bit more technical stuff going on guitar wise. Tons of harmonies. I'll even say this: I did a lot of the harmonies on our not Battle Scars, our most recent record, but the one before that. Pretty much every vocal is mine. Our guitar player Sam would do some of the echo stuff, but I was not 40 of myself, but like there might be 6 of myself at any given moment. On Battle Scars, I was giving more of that over to Sam and Jason, our guitar players. But as we go forward and play more live, I'm more aware of how lucky I am to have a band full of guys that can sing. And so on the next record, I think there will be, just as many more harmonies, but I will be doing less of them. Kind of actually use the band that's singing that stuff live, have their voices on the record. I'm really thrilled about it. It's going to be really exciting.
Now I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm like, hurry up. we're actually discussing.
Well, if you need 40 other voices,
yeah. If you need 40 other problems, Gizz is right here. We're actually just talking about a drummer, and like there's a very distinct style there where he doesn't lay down the drum. He's on and off. It's very fucking hit. And we're trying to figure out like who he sounds like. Who do you think he sounds like?
Well, so that as I said on the record, it's my son. We have a new drummer, Connor, now who Gizz, that's who you saw.
Yes.
Their styles are a bit different. Calvin's style is man, Gizz, I wish you could have seen him play live. He's incredible to watch live.
Might have to steal him.
I definitely hear a Bill Stevenson influence on him, but he's not quite as mechanical. I mean, I don't want to say Bill Stevenson's mechanical, but he kind of is. He's like a machine. You know what I mean? It's precision drumming. Yeah. And Calvin
it's done. It's done. It's nobody laid down on there and like kind of got lazy about it. It's actually really impressive. Like it's like tell him I love him.
Okay. We'll do. What I will say is, though, I don't know that I could totally name all the influences that are in his style. He can do drummer impressions really well.
Really?
He does like a Ringo you can't believe it's not Ringo.
Wow.
Yeah. He's pretty good.
Oh, man. They got the family involved. He's got a trombone hidden in the closet he won't tell us about.
And the coolest dog in the world.
Oh, dude. Well, okay. Wait
Rocket.
a minute. I got D Boone.
I'm a cat.
Huh?
Sorry. You mentioned my dog and I don't see him. Rocket. Come here.
He went out for making cigarettes and milk. He'll be back in the 2000.
Come here.
Come on, Rocket.
Come here, buddy. Come on. No, he doesn't want to come be on the show.
Oh, now he doesn't love us?
Now he's being shy. I think he was taking a nap, and I woke him up.
Oh, buddy.
Well, when are we going to play again together?
Dude, that's my question to you.
I'm going to book a show. You guys want to play the Region or the Belasco?
Both.
All right, I'll put it together.
We definitely got to come south.
If I wanted to buy merch, where would I go?
People at punkrockrecords.com.
They deal with everything, huh?
All right, cool.
We just don't have our own merch set up. I probably should. I'm focused on making music. I'm not good at merch
booth on our website.
Yeah, we're going to be doing a lot of merchandise for bands. So
yeah, like we're
keep this in mind.
We're going to take some artwork and press it and put it together. We got a heat press. We're ready to go with it. So if you guys want to throw it up on our website, we're happy to do it. Also, like and subscribe on YouTube. We want to thank sponsors. We didn't do this because a dummy over here.
All right, our sponsors. Thank you to Transplants Brewing Company in Palmdale for all the help that they do for us. Headline Records in Hollywood, Riot Manufacturing in Las Vegas, Meow Meow's Thrift Shop in Pasadena, which will be carrying our foreclosure record soon. And Sean, our producer, he had to deal with a family emergency tonight, so prayers to him. And but dude, thank you for coming on, and it was truly amazing.
Yeah, I want to do this again
to talk to you. So
thanks for having me.
See you in person again soon.
And thank Keith Morris for opening for me last week.
There you go.
I told you he had the healers.
I knew he did.
Yeah. Hello, Keith.
Stay with us. We're gonna do our sign off, and then we'll get back to you. And
all right.
But thank you so much, brother.
Yeah.
All right,
thank you guys.
All right, man. 42.
That was fun.
42.
That was fun. Adam's awesome.
He is, man. Thank you guys for watching us every week, and once again, like, subscribe, share our channel.
Yeah, get it out there because we are so much more awesome than we think.
I know.
Yeah, 40 of him. I got 41 of me.
But we'll be back next week with Jean-Luc of Headline
Records.
So it's going to be our Thanksgiving special episode.
I think I'm going to kill a turkey on the air live.
Your turkey neck. But thank you guys. You know what you should do? Come join us next Monday with Jean-Luc.
Headline Records.
So
get her done, bitches.
All right. See you later, cunts.